to the legacy. Unpopular celebrity. We ain't chasing fame, we redefining the game. Give light to the name that the system can't tame. Got the people tuned in, cause they feel our lane. It's the voice of the real, not a chase for acclaim. Mic check, then the vibe start to settle for a host. One stage and the truth is the metal. So before that show start, let the beat breathe steady. When you hear that name, just know we ready. Oh yeah. When you hear the name, just know we ready. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular celebrities. Unpopular celebrities. Yeah, we speak that truth so effortlessly. Live mic, no script, just energy. From the block to the base to the legacy. Unpopular, yeah.
Yo, my bad. I had to play it 2 times. My bad. What's up, people? Party people. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm
trying to be a professional here.
Oh, that was it.
Well, I'll change it. When you gonna put the rest of them pictures up in your background, man? What's up with that?
Back behind me?
No, on the floor, man.
Oh, I ain't putting those up. Actually those are going in front of me. I just ain't putting them up yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody that might be listening that contributed to that picture behind him, you know it's not going on the wall. But
no, it's going in front of me. It's not going. I'm sorry, it's not going on the wall behind me.
No,
not doing it.
How the viewers going to be able to see it?
They ain't.
Okay.
Yeah, it ain't all about them. About me sometime.
Okay. All right. You heard it here first. It ain't about you guys. It's about me.
I said sometimes.
You heard it here first. Sometimes. What's up, people? How y'all doing? Peace, human beings. Peace. It is your boy, Philly DC, back up in the place on this lovely Sunday morning, 14 December. 14 December, less than 2 days to your boy's birthday. Drop a bomb out for Philly DC. Over 53 years ago, this dude was born from Catherine Council and laid into this earth to be the person he is today. Usually I don't get excited about my birthday, but for some reason I am this year. Maybe because I'm getting older. So anyway, that's another story. But anyway, thank you for joining us. Myself, Philly DC, as I said before, co-partner here, Pete, on engineer as well. You got Jessica Player, who's here last week, out here doing her thing now, and then Del Brown, who's out in Germany. Guten Tag. We are your Unpopular Celebrities fam. If this is your first time joining us, make sure you like, share, subscribe, especially on the YouTube channel. Get our subscriber viewers up. It'll be greatly appreciated so we can continue to bring you great shows full of great laughter, fun, and provocative comments, which we have a great show lined up for you today. We have 3 topics we're going to talk about. One being and some of them have already happened already, but I think it'll be interesting to talk about. 1, the firing of Michigan football coach Sharon Moore. Number 2, we're going to talk about an interesting case out of Washington, D.C., concerning a squatter and a landlord who went through a long legal battle for years to try to get the squatter or alleged squatter out of her residence. And then finally, we'll touch on the comments Ryan Clark made on 4 December. Ryan Clark is an analyst on ESPN about the perception that the NFL, if they do not select an African-American as an MVP, that they are racist. 2 C's, what's going on? Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. I must have messed up Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. Anyway, so we'll do that. So over to you, Pete.
Yeah, first of all, foremost, thank you everybody for coming in. JJ, what's good? 2 seasons going on as we get people in the building. If you don't know, we're giving away a December to Remember, no plug on Lexus, but contest. You guys are eligible to come in here and win. Just type !win into the chat and you'll be automatically entered. Hopefully, if everything's working right, we will do the drawing if we get at least 10 people in the drawing. And then you will get a free gift from your unpopular celebrities straight to you. When we do this gift, like I said, you got to be here to enter. So we'll do the gift usually at the end or whenever we get 10 people. There go the first one. Hopefully it works. So thank you, Justin. What's up, bruh? Hopefully it works. I don't see it working, so I will try to. Oh, there it goes. Yep. So Justin has just been entered to win. Ron has been entered to win. Thank you, Ron, for subscribing. Appreciate the subscription. 2C's, you did it the wrong way. It's !win, not win ! So make sure you go ahead and enter that correctly and you will be here to be entered. So there we go. There's our 2 people in there. So we're getting our numbers up better than last week already. All right, and you will see it at the top when you get entered. That is all for the business part. We'll say that again as we move forward. Real quick, I wanted to ask you, did you see John Cena match was last night?
Yeah, there was some mixed reaction. I guess he lost. That was his last
tapped out
before he retired. Yeah.
I was like, bro, like, it's funny because I know they did it on purpose. Hey, what's up, man? I can't read your name, but what's going on? Charles Davis in the building. Four people in the building. But yeah, I don't know. Like everybody's faces were like, even my face. I actually watched wrestling for a long time. Like, wow, I can't believe this dude lost. It's really bright in here. I'm gonna turn that off. But yeah, I can't believe he lost. I can't believe it.
I will say for myself personally, I'm a huge wrestling fan. And so, newsflash for people who may not know, wrestling is fake, right? It's real, but it's fake. It's real, but it's fake. Anyway, that being said, anybody who's a real, do I have to say my name?
No. Hey, put !win, not win ! The exclamation point got to go first. Go ahead.
But anybody knows wrestling, that is the way you want to go out as a performer. You don't necessarily want to win the last match. Your goal is to kind of bring up the next wrestler behind them. So I believe the person he lost to was Gunther, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
Gunther or something. Anyway, I don't know who this dude is, but everybody knows John Cena's legacy is cemented. It's not like a boxer who has won a championship, he gets knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows it's a storyline behind it. So for John Cena to go like that, and he got a standing ovation afterwards, I think it was the right ending for him.
No, he said he tapped out pretty quick. I mean, yeah. Though the loss would be a little bit more clear, and he would have won the last match. I think he should have won. Yeah, his name is the Ring General. I think he should have won. Like, I'm like, bro, it's my last match. No way I'm losing this. No way. Not me. And then
I was fine with him losing.
I thought they were gonna play his song, his music, because I think his music's pretty dope. Did you see the reaction when he? With his something about the anticipation. It's something about intro music. I think Conor McGregor has the best one, but it's something about intro music. When that beat, when you're anticipating that person coming out and their beat drop, it don't matter what. It could be the Undertaker's dong. Yo, something about
that's better than Cena. That's better than Cena's. I think The Rock's is better than Cena's. I think Steve Austin and Ric Flair's got the greatest walkout song ever.
Yeah, Ron, we see you. Ric Flair. Oh, he starts off with the woo, right?
No, Space Mountain. When that song plays, everybody knows it's Ric Flair. Just like Steve Austin, the crashing of the window, the breaking of the window.
Yeah.
Don't know. That's perfect. And then the Undertaker. Cena's was kind of cheesy in my opinion. It was done during I think the 2000 or late 90s era when hip hop was big, big with that type of stuff. You can't see me. I wasn't a big, huge Cena fan, but And I respect his impact on wrestling, though.
I'm trying to see if I can bring up his intro music, but I guess I can't.
Good. No need for that.
All right. Anyway, all right. Let's go on to the topics.
You
I just
can't
thought
see me. The time is now. It's
I-
franchise, and I'm shining now.
I said the
You
beat.
can't see me. The time is now.
I said the beat. Just said when you hear the glass hit your ass.
Man, that's your ass. That's right. That's your ass. That's right.
I wish I could play
Austin
his.
316 says.
Oh, I got it. It's hard. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, that was a little loud. Oh man, I love it.
Oh, what kind of crap is that? Man?
Oh man, you're such a, like when you hate, you hate. Like,
does anybody else agree with me? I think, come on, compared to Steve Austin and The Rock and Undertaker and Ric Flair, it doesn't. Come on, man, really? Kane's is whack. Kane's is whack.
I remember.
Yeah, Kane. Yeah, it's whack.
I remember that.
Anyway,
but
I
anyway,
like
yeah.
Eddie Guerrero's joint was great. You know, what did he say? I forgot that word he says when he comes out, but Eddie Guerrero's was good. Shout out to Eddie Guerrero, rest in peace, man. One of the greatest wrestlers. Anyway, all right, moving on. Let's get to our first topic. Let's see. Let's go after the Sharon Moore first.
Okay.
Sharon Moore. So, for those who may not know, Sharon Moore was the former Michigan football head coach. So, this was his second year coaching for the Michigan football team. And apparently, Sharon Moore, who is married with 3 children, was involved in an affair with a staffer, an alleged affair with a staffer. So apparently this affair with the staffer has been going on for 3 years. And so the Michigan alumni or the authorities of the University of Michigan was investigated him the first 1 or 2 years during the alleged affair. And they questioned both the coach and the staffer, and then they didn't find anything. And then all of a sudden the staffer on this 3rd year came forward and revealed that there was a relationship between herself and the coach. And then for some reason, allegedly, they waited till after the Ohio State football game, and then they fired him, which Michigan lost to Ohio State. And then after they fired him, Sharon Moore, the Michigan head coach, former Michigan head coach, went over to the girl's house, allegedly broke in, and threatened to kill himself in front of her using a kitchen knife or several butter knives. And so she was traumatized. The police responded. They arrested him, booked him into the county jail, and they charged him with a felony 3rd-degree home invasion and 2 misdemeanor offenses. He is currently out on bail, $25,000 bail, and entered a plea of not guilty. So it has sparked a lot of conversation in the sports world, namely the Jim Harbaugh, who is the head coach of the San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. I personally like San Diego, but anyway, Los Angeles Chargers that endorsed him. And then now, one following after Jim Harbaugh is difficult, but to have this happen, especially to a storied university like University of Michigan, it's got to be shocking. I'll pause there.
No, good wrap up for what's going on. Let me see what Wes Lawrence said. Hold on, where's it at? Oh no! Oh, there it goes. All right, Coach Moore.
Wes Lawrence, the Android user.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. Coach Moore is an idiot, but he isn't the first coach to do something like this. He went so far and deserved to be fired. First of all, I agree with that. Second thing is, he actually got accused of this, I think, like a year ago, maybe a little less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And they did their own internal investigation, and he was scot-free and clear. So you would think all is well and all is good. But he comes out and he was either still doing it or he did it again. I was like, you freaking dummy.
No, he was still doing it. It's just neither the staffer nor him came forward and was honest with during the initial probe.
Yeah.
And then the girl ended up coming out on the third year and admitting to it. So it gives you the idea that something happened. Maybe there was an argument. Maybe she felt like he was going to leave his wife. I don't know. I'm just speculating.
The
But for
very
some
big
reason, she
speculation.
decided to come out.
Yeah.
For some reason, if they've been doing it for 3 years, why come forward now? Apparently, he didn't know she was coming forward.
Right.
And reveal the relationship.
There's always something, you know, with stuff like that happens. Apparently also that she got a huge bonus or a huge pay raise. She was making like, I think it was like 50 grand. And then a year later, she started making 75 grand. Yeah. And so it's like, bro, what you doing? Blessings, you get what you own. Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, man. I think the whole thing, with him going to her house and threatening her, that really just, I mean, I get you're upset. I get you're angry. I get your feelings, but you really lost your mind with that one, which, you know, some people will lose their mind. Some people will lose their mind. Hey, we are doing a contest or a giveaway for y'all. It says up there, type !" chat to join the random drawing. Once we get at least 10 people or the end of the show, we will do that drawing for a free giveaway from the unpopular celebrities. All right. What happens in the dark comes to light. Let's not forget the girl was wrong. Was wrong? Let's not forget the girl was wrong. She knew the dude was married. She's trifling too.
Oh.
Here we go. All right. iPhone
he needs some milk.
And 16-year-olds. Okay.
Yeah.
Allegedly, she was pregnant with his kid, and he created Plan B. Whoa, he Instacarted Plan B to the practice facility, bruh.
Yes.
Oh, look what he said. Take the Eagles hat off, buddy.
You hater.
He needs some milk.
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
Okay. All right. Why can't I address my haters?
No, we'll address that later. Stay on topic.
Okay. So what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. Okay. So
the
great
Plan
point,
B.
Justin. I forgot about that one. Yes. Apparently she was pregnant, and let's see. SAS says sex is undefeated.
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, what's up, brother?
Yeah.
Guten Morgen. Anyway, it's a great point, Justin. Thank you for bringing that up. Apparently, she got pregnant. So, you know, some people, I'm not one, but some people say that's the one thing. If you're going to step out and you're going to mess with somebody else, the cardinal rule is you do not get them pregnant. Again, I don't condone that, but that's what happened. He decided he didn't want her to have a baby. So she went and she revealed that they were having an affair. So this dude, Mr. Moore, has a wife and 3 kids and lost, I think he was getting paid, what, $35-40 million?
Yeah, he's getting paid a lot.
Michigan. It's crazy. Like the amount that you would give up to be involved in a relationship.
Like, he didn't think he was going to give it up.
Like, do y'all, let's see, Eric J says, it ain't her responsibility to protect the sanctity of his relationship. Ooh, provocative.
Wes Lawrence, a great point. I forgot his name, but yeah, the Celtics coach had the same thing. He got fired, and now he's the Houston Rockets coach, and he's doing quite well. I can't remember his freaking name.
He probably didn't break in her house either.
Now that's true. That's very true. That's very true. That's what the killer point was.
How many, which I'm going to touch on in a minute because it's interesting. How many black coaches or African American coaches have the Boston Celtics had? Quite a few, right?
Not a lot. No,
more than 5, at least 5, right?
I will have to look that up. I don't think they had a lot.
Yeah, I bet you they had. But see, the reason why, here's why I say this. And I'm going to give credit to Fox News. I don't watch Fox News, but it was an interesting point. Apparently, Sharon Moore was the first African-American head coach at the University of Michigan.
Yep.
That's significant.
Football coach. Because you remember
football coach.
Because the basketball coach, who was the old who was the old basketball coach? Somebody help me out in the chat. Who was the old basketball coach for the Michigan? He choked the player out.
I don't know.
Somebody will help me out in the chat. Ema Udoka was the Celtics coach. So
Anyway,
the Celtics,
move on.
wait, the
Go
Celtics
ahead,
had
continue.
Celtics had no black head coaches, but one black head coach, Joe Mazzulla. He's half white, half black, and 5 assistant black coaches. They have not.
Where
They
did you
have
get that from?
chat.
They've only had one black head coach in
And
Boston Celtics.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm about to say that's not possible.
The first.
What about
okay. I
Casey
asked the wrong.
Jones?
And
Casey Jones was one.
thank you, Justin. Jawan Howard is the
Casey Jones,
first black head coach.
I'll wait.
Or first black Michigan basketball coach. He said Bobby Knight. No, Bobby Knight.
Way off.
The responsibility comment by Eric J is irresponsible.
Okay, I'll answer my own question. The Boston Celtics has had 6 black head coaches.
Okay.
As I thought, Casey Jones, Tom Sanders, ML Carr, Doc Rivers, ML Udoka. So they have 6. So back to my original point, the Michigan football team has only had one African-American head coach, and that's Sharon Moore. So for something like that to happen, the question was from Fox News, how will this impact future hiring of an African-American coach?
Hey, I'm going to be first to say this because I might be saying what everybody's thinking, but nobody wants to say. They won't have another one. They're going to have to put in the Rooney Rule for Michigan specifically to hire another black coach. It's not good because, first of all, college football coaches don't get fired too often, nor do they leave, especially Michigan, where you got all the money in the world. The only way is you're going to go get a coach's job at the NFL level. So if you're not going to get fired, you really don't leave. The next one won't be, and they won't have another one for probably not even in our lifetime.
Why is that?
Because of what happened. Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
I don't think fair is the right question because fair is very subjective. I think I could get the rationale. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I can't get the rationale. Let me say that right. I cannot get but I think the way they use the rationale, I can't argue with it. Charles Davis said it should not matter about race because I'm sure white coaches have done it numerous times. They haven't got caught. Some have got caught. Some have got caught. But when you are put on this, when it's there, it's there. What's up, Scott Roy? Said it's reality. Yeah, when it's there, it's there. Hey, we're doing a free giveaway. We're trying to give this stuff away. ! Win in the chat to be entered into the drawing that we will do when we get 10 people or when the show ends, whatever we decide. But we need at least 10. Dion might go to Michigan. Heard he's one of the coaches thought to replace Moore. I don't see it, but could happen. All right, your thoughts. I'm sorry, I talked a lot.
I can't say you're wrong. I would like to do a quick search and see how long the University of Michigan has been in existence, or the football team.
Jesus.
But that says a lot. That says a lot that it's been around this time, 1918.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
When you joined the military.
Okay, the timeline, whatever. The timeline starts around 1918. Or no, I guess around 1841, I believe. Something about that. But anyway, if it's been that long, and this is the first time they had an African-American coach, that doesn't look good. And then, it's funny, I thought Shannon Sharp made a comment that says, I know the type of storm he's going through because I had
of course. Nah, his stuff is completely different. His stuff is completely different.
I was telling my wife the other day, I said, I remember when I went to the command chief course and Khalif Wright was there. He said, what are some of the things that cause command chiefs to get fired? And somebody said, not keeping your joint in your pants. And everybody started laughing. And he said, that's actually one of them, but that's not the one I'm thinking of initially. And so they was like, when you become a command chief, when you become a chief, you're already handsome or pretty. But then when you become a command chief, you only become handsome or pretty. You become intelligent. You become like almost perfect. In other words, you have a lot of star power. And with that, a lot of people are drawn towards you. And with that, you feel like you're invincible.
Right.
And that's when you can make bad decisions. So wow, he joined when the right brother. Man, shut up, man. Shut up. Partner. Anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, in this case, I find it interesting. You hear all these stories about folks who are in these positions where a lot of prestige and where, I mean, how many people would love to be not only a head coach in college football, but in a storied university like the University of Michigan? And then to the last 2 years and to get fired after arguably the biggest game in the University of Michigan that year against its hated rivals, Ohio State. And then not only to lose, but then get fired. And then you go to the allegedly girl's house and then break in, and then you getting up in jail. I mean, he's splattered all over it. But anyway, there's another tale of, damn, that's a lie, DC, you ugly. What's a lie? What?
That you look better when you become a command chief.
It is true. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate. You hate us because you ain't us. Anyway,
okay. But yeah, I find it. So I just looked it up. The University of Michigan has only had 21 head coaches in the history. It said the program began in 1879. 21.
Okay.
I don't even know how many years that is.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of years. Well over 150. But a lot of years to only have 21 head coaches, and you got this position, and the bad part is you made was it Jim Harbaugh? Who's the coach? Harbaugh. You made him look bad. Yeah, you made him look bad. So you just now his credibility looks questionable. Now he has a head coaching job, so he ain't worried about it. But yeah, man, he will never. I don't think he'll ever get it. I don't think he'll ever get a college head coaching job. If anything, it'll be like at a D3 school, and he'll just go off the name of saying former Michigan head coach.
Oh no, he'll never. No. They'll be. I'll put it like this: if he comes out of this and he's not charged, in other words, he's not convicted for what he did, maybe. But if he comes out guilty, of breaking and entering, the misdemeanor breaking and entering and all that stuff, there's no way. Why would someone hire him after that? Think about the media backlash.
Don't forget, alumni rules college sports. Alumni rules it.
What they got to do anything?
Money. They just want the names.
So here's my thing. You saying that?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just try to make sure I understand. Even if that's the case, my point is you have a coach. Yes, he coached one of the biggest universities when it comes to football in college football. He lasted 2 years. Why? He didn't get fired because of his performance. He got fired for off-duty misconduct that maybe not as bad as, a case like, say, Joe Paterno, if I'm not mistaken, what happened in Penn State. But it's not like that. This dude did something that caused really a dark cloud on the University of Michigan for now. University of Michigan will, they will survive and move on and whatever. But still, it is a black eye of the University of Michigan. Why would another college or university hire him after this?
You're thinking of You're thinking of morals. When it
that
comes
matter. So that don't matter.
Can I finish?
I'm just saying. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
Just saying that don't matter.
Not when it comes to money.
You crazy.
Okay.
Crazy.
Time
give me
will
an example.
tell.
Give me an example. Give me one example of someone who got fired for morals and was then hired later.
Ime Udoka, the San Antonio Spurs coach who got caught cheating on it. Well, I don't even know if he's married, but cheating on the girl that was on the staff for the Spurs and got hired as the Houston Rockets coach.
Okay. Gotcha. But again,
that's moral. But
again, we mentioned earlier, He did more than that, did he not?
Who did more?
Ime Udoka break into the girl's house?
That it doesn't.
Was he charged with a
so
misdemeanor?
if you're trying to say, give me the exact situation where somebody did this and somebody broke into somebody's house and then there's and he got hired, I don't know one. But if you're saying a moral reason why somebody got fired and then got rehired, there's probably 100 of them.
You bugging, man. Like I can't think of anyone.
I just gave you one.
Anyone again. 2 different cases, both moral, but one took it an additional step.
You're right. If you,
it was 2 different cases.
And I tell you, if you're telling me, give me an example of a coach who did this and did exactly what Shamar Moore did.
Not exactly, maybe close to it.
Okay.
Criminal.
I could type that up. All right. We got a lot of questions in chat, so we'll get to all those. Can you read those ones? And I'll find that answer.
Eric J says, Charles Davis, she has her fault too, but the responsibility of protecting his relationship falls on him. I agree. As the story shows right now, he had more to lose. Absolutely. Also, Eric J says, different rules. Truth. Wes Lawrence says, Celtics coach did. He also said Rick Pitino did. Wes, what did Rick Pitino did that's comparable to what Sharon Moore did? Not just morally, but criminally.
I'm trying to read it.
And then let's just say, Wes, you are correct that Rick Pitino not only did something morally wrong, but criminally wrong. Here's the difference. And I was going to leave this as a last point. I will say this before I make my point. I was always told throughout my life, you are as good as anybody else, regardless of color, gender, sexual orientation. You treat everybody the way they should be rightfully treated. But I was also told, as you become more successful, you have a responsibility as an African American to represent the right way. Just like when they say cases like when you go somewhere and you're in an Air Force uniform, you have a responsibility to do what you're supposed to do the right way to be a good representation. So for Sharon Moore, being a first African-American coach of the University of Michigan football team, there should have been a lot of pressure on him because he could open the doors for other people of the same race.
Right, I agree.
And because of what happened, to your point, it may cause it be more difficult for another African-American coach to be hired. So that being said, I find it difficult to believe. Maybe I will agree. Maybe Division III high school, they may say, okay, you know what? Fine. But even then, I do not see another university hiring him, especially if he comes down with these charges and he is
guilty.
He's found guilty. I was trying to look at find the other word. Charles Davis says, Pete bugging. A black coach cheats and gets caught. I missed the other one.
Hold on. Let me get to all these comments and we'll go through because there's a lot coming in. And let me get to the Rick Pitino thing. So Rick Pitino, he was fired from the University of Louisiana after an FBI investigation into college basketball recruiting scandal. And then he got hired again in 2023 by St. John's University. All right. So let me get to all these. I believe the administration knew something. Staff salary doubled after reports possibly unprofessional relationship. Yep. Good point, Charles Davis. Eric said he ain't never going to coach again. Scott Roy, exclamation point win, not hashtag, exclamation point win. To be entered into the drawing that we're giving away. Anybody can enter, exclamation point win. Type that in the chat and you'll be automatically entered. Why does he think he could get away with something like this? I don't know. He's heard coach. Oh, his head coaching life is over. Oh, we'll see. Shoot, don't forget Bobby Paterno did the same thing. Look him up. I'll look him up.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Eric, when Charles Davis said, Eric, we not going back and forth with which is more wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'll read all that. Royster says, I hate to say it. If he was a winning coach, I don't think we'll be talking about this. That's It all comes to DC. It's just news in reality. What? It's just news in reality? Am I reading that right?
It's just news in reality. It's not that far.
From Penn State, every major college goes through it.
I got 2 responses, but I'll wait. Celtics coach did.
All right, we talked about that. You talked about that. Black man cheats on wife plus mistress pregnant. Cooked. Yeah, that's for real. Cooked for real. He flew too close to the sun. Oh, hell no, Wes.
I love that comment. I'm about to use that one. He got cooked, huh? Yeah, you should have added he got cooked. Wes, that would be perfect.
He is cooked. He's gonna be in the cell with Puffy. That's crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna start using that. I'm like, oh, you fly too close to the sun. I wish I had that when I was really in, boy. I love that one.
Hey, you're frozen, by the way.
Huh?
You're frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah, you might have to jump out, jump back in. While he's doing that, he'll be right back. But thank you for all the comments. We'll put a bow on this as soon as Philly comes back in. But it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, Wes, you wilding for real. Waiting for Philly to come back in. Shouldn't take that long. Let me open this back up. Nope. Oh, there he is. All right, you good. All right, do you want to put a bow on this? Because we got a lot more categories to talk about.
Do 2 more responses. So the first one is, you guys mentioned Rick Pitino. You mentioned Bobby Petrino, or whatever his name is, right? Here's the difference. Can we all agree these are well-known, established coaches? You can't compare Rick Pitino to Sherrod Moore. They're in 2 different atmospheres.
You're always changing the narrative. Like, first you said, give me this example. Now you're saying, now they're well-established coaches. We're just giving you an example that you asked for in the beginning.
Here's the reason why. I had to take a pause there because I was going to jump, but I'm not. Here's the reason why I'm saying this. Can we all agree? I used to tell people all the time, and I think Scott Roy said this when he was on the show, Scott Roy, your credit matters.
Right.
Your credit will allow you to survive a lot of issues that you may face. Can we all agree, as a professional and as a coach and reputation, which one has more credit, Rick Pitino or Sherrod Moore?
Rick Pitino.
Exactly. Bobby Petrino or Sherrod Moore?
Yeah, Bobby.
Exactly. So I'm not surprised. And then all of that, I hate to say it. I won't say that. No, F it. I'm going to say it. Rick Paterno, Patino, Patino, whatever, right? And Sherrod Moore. What's the difference between the 2?
I don't know.
There's race involved, right?
Sure.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing in the white elephant, right? So Sherrod Moore has a small window when it comes to Rick Pitino or Paterno, whatever, Patino. So for Sherrod Moore to do this, and if I'm not mistaken, this is his first job as a head coach at a prominent university. It's not like he had multiple. And his record wasn't all that great.
Mm-hmm.
So I think his chances of getting another head coaching job at the Division I level is slim to none.
No, I agree. Division I level, you're right.
I think the level he is coaching matters. Could Coach Prime get away with this? He probably could.
No, I don't think so.
I'm sure he would. Oh, yes, Deion Sanders. Come on, man.
No, I don't think
that's why it goes back to credibility and credit.
Yeah, you're right.
If Deion Sanders did this, he can go anywhere and still coach. Because they're like, I know he did blah, 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 but it's Deion Sanders, man. Who at university is going to be like, I know he did this, but it's Sherrod Moore. Nobody's going to say that.
Wes, I agree with you. I don't think this has anything to do with race. I think he did something stupid, and he just we'll take about.
Great, I'm sorry. Great.
Well, we'll take one more comment, then we'll move on because we're gonna run out of time. It's different because he's black and he broke into the house of a white mistress who is pregnant, then threatened her. Difference there. Yeah. Credit score for Moore is 350. Great point.
Exactly.
No, I agree with the credit point. All right.
That's right. All right, moving on. Let's now talk about the DC squatter case. So I'll cover this, give you a quick synopsis on it. So basically, what happened was in the Washington, D.C., there was a young lady that decided to rent an Airbnb from a landowner in DC because she claims her apartment had a fire. Her other apartment had a fire and was a lot of damage. So she moved into this Airbnb temporarily until her apartment was repaired. So come to find out, after 30 days, the tenant, or I'm sorry, the renter decided not to pay the rent. So for some reason, there was an agreement under the table outside of the Airbnb
Mhm.
to pay the rest of the payment using the tenant's or potential tenant's Amex card, to which allegedly the landowner agreed. But the payment was never rendered. So the tenant or the person who was renting the Airbnb didn't pay the landowner for 4 to 5 months. And this happened during the COVID era. So the landowner decides you need to go. Tenant decides I'm not going nowhere. So the landowner tried to get in the house. The tenant called the police. The police said to the landowner, you can't go in this house because the tenant stayed there. The landowner says she has no right to stay there because she hasn't been paying rent. So they said the only way you can get her out is you have to go through the legal process. Well, in DC, they have these tenant laws that favors the tenant, that says you cannot put them out unless you have legal course, which means you have to go to the court to decide to move them out. So you may be asking, she was staying in the Airbnb. There was no lease, but apparently after 30 days, you have this thing called tenant at will or month to month tenant. And so the individual inside the house that didn't want to leave assumed she was a tenant and that she wanted the landowner to go through the legal process to have her removed. So all the while, although the tenant was not paying rent, she was running a Scentsy or candle business out of the house
Mhm.
and posting on social media, living her best life.
Mhm.
Then the landowner decides to turn off the electricity. The tenant calls the police, goes through the legal system, and they order the landowner to turn the electricity back on because she's got her daughter in there. So anyway, long story short, they go through a long legal battle for 6 to 7 months. And then finally, the judge orders that it was the tenant had to leave. And so now the tenant is finally out of the house. So I ask you, anybody out there who has property, have you ever encountered a squatter? And if you did, what would you do to prevent yourself from being this predicament?
Look what Scott Roy said. Just dealt with this with my neighbor's house. The laws just changed in Maryland in November. Okay. I don't know.
What changed in Maryland? Scott,
maybe
hit
to
us up.
favor the property man or the property owner. But I think this is a big argument about, do I get a property management company or not? Because you can get a property management company for an Airbnb. And these are why property managements make how much money they make. This is why property managers could charge you 2%, 5%, 10%, 12% of your monthly rent to run your property because of situations like this. Here's the thing, and I don't support this, but just laws are laws and rules are rules. It speeds up the process now to get squatters out because you need the court system to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep. So it sucks, but this is the reality of running a business. Airbnb is a business. No matter how you shape, form it, understand it, come up, whatever you want to call it, Airbnb is a form of business. You are giving something to somebody else, and somebody else is taking it from you by giving you money. That is a business. When you run a business, you need to make sure you're legally correct and everything is in a row. So if something like this happens, that you can move through it and come around it. It sucks. It's not the correct people thing to do. You think people would look after people, but that's not what happened in this situation. While I'm reading this comment, you're frozen again. If you could hear me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just get out.
Yes, I dealt with this in Jersey when I went to Hawaii. My tenant didn't pay for 6 months. I had to get the courts to get her removed. I had to sell the house and lost money because of it. Bruh, I've had so many stories about people who have had this happen to them. and it sucks to hear it, but it is it. Don't hear about it too often about Airbnbs. You hear about a lot with houses that's going through the sale and foreclosure. So I guess my question, and DC, I'll let you go. Would you guys get a property management now, or Wes, since you said you dealt with it, did you have a property management then, and did that help out? Philly, you can go ahead. I talked a lot.
So, I mean, I agree. I mean, I hear your point as far as this is like having a business. If you're going to rent out a home, you've got to run the traps and make sure you have everything in basis as far as, having your own way of paying your rent if your tenant doesn't pay the rent, having your way to have someone look after the property. My only issue with that is not an issue with that is in this instance, this individual knew from the beginning that she was going to stay beyond 30 days. And when they tried to move her out, that's when she claimed tenant rights.
That's the law.
And apparently she's done this many times before. When they did the investigation of background on her, she was done this many times throughout the District of Columbia. So she's a professional squatter. She has done this. So my issue is that, yes, in a way, it kind of worked out for the landlord. She finally got her out of the house, but there was damages to the property. And they cannot prevent her from renting another place. So in other words, it's not like they can just put her on some watch lists. If someone doesn't watch the news or seen this story, it can happen to them too. And the interesting thing is the tenant that was kicked out is flipping it around and trying to say she's suing for defamation of character or something.
Yeah, and this is why. I mean?
Then not only that, the only thing I was going to say too is like when you say it's easy to say as a business owner, you gotta be prepared. Yeah. That's true. I mean, that goes without saying. But when it does happen and you're still prepared, this lady, the landowner, it's an Airbnb. So maybe she wasn't aware of the tenant laws in DC for this to happen. But what is shameful is that we pay all these taxes and we get to a point where you're trying to get something done legally. It takes months to get it done. And then they order the tenant to pay the landowner's legal fees, all this other stuff. And they said she's liable in civil court. But if you can't pay your rent,
you ain't never going to get
that stuff back.
Right. And the thing about it, and this is the good and bad thing about what happens with our legal system. Let me read this real quick. Charles Davis says, Wes, did you have property management? Could you have prevented it? Because, bro, I hope they never have this to go through this. So I'll say, like, there's a lot of websites. I think one is renter.com or something like that, that will give you all the legalities. Like when I rent out my house in Texas and the one in Cali, I do my own property management. The first thing and foremost is I read the legalities from my state. And I think it's landlord.com. Maybe it's landlord.com will give you all the legal documents that you need. Does this prevent from anything happening bad? No, but it kind of helps if you have to go to court. And to your point, you're absolutely right. If you ain't gonna pay your rent, I damn sure you probably don't own a house. You don't own a car. You don't own anything. So if I take you to court and I'm asking you to pay this money, you're not gonna pay it, and nothing's gonna happen to you. If it does, it'll happen 5-10 years from now. You're never gonna pay me back. So you're right. You get effed in most circumstances. But this is why before you rent out your stuff, before you read, yeah, hey, I really do. It might take me a couple weeks, but I do. But this is before you rent. You do your own background checks. You do your own credit checks, because you could do that. That's very legal for Airbnbs or for renting a property. You need to do a background and a credit check. And if anything, that at least helps. Because you will see in their credit check, if they have 7 credit cards through different companies at the mall and all of them are maxed out and they have delinquent payments, you probably don't want to rent to that person. So you could do this, and that I'm not saying it's 100% foolproof, but at least it helps. It helps. And all these are a come up. You are running bits. No different when Toro was the thing and you're renting your car out for people to do Toro. Somebody can steal your car and just take off. And you're hoping these people are paying your monthly Toro payment or your monthly car payment. Plus you're getting a little extra something in your pocket for doing this, and they take off with your car. Well, you're stuck with the monthly car payment. It's no different from that. And hopefully the cops find it. But if your car is burned up, sure, the person's going to jail. But at the end of the day, like Wes saying, man, you're going to lose out on a lot of money and have to go through a lot of stuff. A lot of people go through foreclosures for this stuff. It sucks. And it's a risky business. It is very, very risky. And when it works out, and people will tell you about times that it works out, oh, it's great. It's the best thing in the world. But when it doesn't, it hurts. It hurts hard. Pause.
Yeah, I think I find it frustrating that there's not provisions put in the legal system to expedite cases like this. Got it. You can do all the run through all the traps, credit checks, all the other stuff, and hope it doesn't happen. But when it does happen, and you're trying to get the individual out of your property, and they haven't paid it, it should not take a year to get them out, especially if you have proof to show, hey, look, I have this payment. This is the last payment I got. Okay, you have to prove that she hasn't paid you. Okay, cool. Small claims court. I don't know how they do it, but it should not take a year. That's my only issue. I agree with you 100%. You run the risk when you do that, whether you're renting your car, you have a car renting business, or you're renting out your home. But it still favors the tenant. That is my only issue.
Yeah, and this came around during COVID where people weren't working, and you know, everybody knows what happened in COVID, and people didn't. So they were like, you can't just kick people out because they didn't pay in 7 days, and they just haven't fixed that law yet. And as Scott Roy said, and maybe they just turned it around, but it's been that's kind of where it happened. To Charles Davis' point, he said, I'll just rent to military. Hey, that's cool. You could do that, but you better put that in your advertisement, because if not, you can get sued for it. Because the rules are, I think this is for every state, but check your own state. You have parameters to which you rent, and you can make up your own parameters because it's your own property. I won't rent to anybody with a dog. I won't rent to anybody with kids. I won't rent to anybody that has a beard. No, you can make up any parameters you want. But here's the trick. Here's the trick. As soon as you make those parameters, the first person that comes in that meets your parameters, you have to rent to them. So if I got 20 applications, whoever the first person to put is that meet my parameters, I have to rent to them. And if you get a property management company, you give them your parameters, and they don't tell you that. All they tell you is, hey, the first person that came in that submitted their application first. That's why when you go to a property management, they'll be like, hey, you got to submit your application first, because if you don't, somebody could rent the property out before you. That's why you try to get in there as quickly as possible, because as soon as you meet the parameters, you have to rent to those people. Now, you can put down whatever parameters you want, so you better be smart and really think about your parameters. But you can do whatever you want, and you can't change them on the fly, because you say, hey, I won't rent to anybody with more than 3 kids, and somebody comes up with 2 kids, but they're badass kids that they've been in jail. You can't change it then. You have to put down every specific parameter. Try to help y'all out.
So you wouldn't rent the kids?
No, I'm just saying that's a parameter. Like, my parameter was I won't take anybody with a dog over 50 pounds. That's a usual, common parameter now. I also won't rent to anybody with lower than a 600 credit score. I also won't rent to anybody who didn't finish high school.
Won't rent to anybody.
Nope. I also won't rent to anybody who does not have a legitimate job for at least 1 year. So there are different parameters you could put in. I'm just trying to help, man. I've been doing it for years.
You got somebody in there now?
Yeah. They've been there for 3 years.
And would you just go back over there quarterly and check on it?
So you can go back. So this is crazy. Not in the foundation security forces for property man. Okay, yeah. We things other people don't. But the crazy thing is, you could go back yearly and check on your property. Whether you have a property, well, if you have a property manager, you should be paying them, or that should be in the contract. But you can go, if you rent your own stuff, you could go back and check on your property yearly and write it off on your taxes as an expense. So you can fly back, stay there for 3 days, go party, chill, check on your property for a days, and then go back. And you can write that off. Let me see. Dooley Allen, what's up, big dog? You got a GED? No GEDs. No GEDs. He said, you got to graduate high school. He said, let me check your transcript. Yeah, for real. For real.
Anyway, we can put a ball on this. Let's quickly move on.
Okay.
So December 4th, if you know Ryan Clark is an analyst on ESPN. He made a comment that sparked a lot of conversation, and it continues to do so. So he stated, the NFL is racist if the MVP this year isn't a person of color. So what was interesting about it is Ryan Clark believes former MVPs like Lamar Jackson isn't held to the same type of criticism as like other MVPs who are white, like Josh Allen. And then also he brought up the criticism Shedeur Sanders is getting, that he's arrogant and everything because he's African American. So my question is, another piece before I pose the question. Do you think the MVP race or the MVP, and I think we talked about this before, is based on stats or perception?
Both.
And do you agree with what Ryan Clark is saying in his statement?
I agree that it is based on stats and perception. I also agree that Ryan Clark is a complete idiot for saying that. Complete and utter dummy for saying that. I don't know where. Yeah, Ryan Clark has to give context. I feel something is missing. Something has to be missing because Lamar Jackson just won MVP. What, he went back to back or 2 out of the 4 years or something like that, and he's black. I mean, most of the players that play, Freddie Kincaid said he's agree. I don't know if you agree with Ryan Clark or agree with what I said, but I don't. There has to be something missing. I think most of the MVPs besides Tom Brady, I feel like, and Peyton Manning have been, I mean, most of them it's a quarterback award, and most quarterbacks are white. So statistics are going to say that a white person is going to win an MVP if most of them are quarterbacks and most quarterbacks are white. I don't know where something has to be missing. Complete idiot.
So, yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that he believes there's a troubling pattern when it comes to like fairness and perception and how the award is decided. In other words, performance again versus perception. Is it about performance or how the person is perceived or the perception of what it is?
I think it's definitely both. But the reason why, MVPs are quarterbacks award because quarterback touches the ball every freaking play. The only way a running back would get a award is like Jonathan Taylor had at the beginning of the year, probably the first 10 games, he was like, man, probably in the race, in the contest, but his running game has lapsed a lot and not his fault. It could be a lot of things. Maybe defense are scheming towards him. Maybe, the offensive line is just different. Maybe, a lot of things could be in there. That was a part of the game plan for him to get the ball. So it sucks, but quarterbacks, unless you're throwing 4 interceptions a game, shout out Jalen Hurts, unless you're fumbling the ball back to back, like it's a very easy award for quarterbacks to get because their stats are so high. I mean, in high-powered offense like the NFL now, they're going to get their numbers. They're going to throw for 3,000, 4,000 plus yards a season. So stats-wise, it's a quarterback-driven award, and most quarterbacks in the NFL are white. So
my only issue is I do think to me, it's troubling that like Josh Allen does not get the same criticism as a Jalen Hurts does, or as a Lamar Jackson does. I remember when the Bills was on their skid and Josh Allen has a bad game, he gets a little bit of criticism. But then he'll have like a great game. He's like the greatest quarterback that ever lived. But Jalen Hurts, although Jalen Hurts has sucked the past 3 games, when he started on his initial decline, the Eagles has been getting Bravo Tango Alpha all year. And you would think they're like 3-5 versus 8-5. Right. But the Bills don't get that. You know what I mean? And then, so I don't agree with Ryan Clark says, but I can understand why he would give that impression. Because I don't think it's about, African Americans not getting selected. Because to your point, yeah, Lamar Jackson won what, 10 times? I don't know. I'm being
2 times.
Well, he's won 2 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes, where there's a debate. Some people say he's white, some people's black, but I believe he is mixed. Right. So people assume that he's black, but he's won at least once. But then, but there's less African American quarterbacks than Caucasian quarterbacks. But I do think sometimes the selection of MVP does seem to be more about perception than performance, I do think. Because you look at the last couple of MVPs, right? How many MVPs the past 5 years have won the Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't know. Patrick Mahomes was probably the last one.
Let's see. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, nobody gets to grace that job. I agree. And I think that's what Ryan Clark is trying to say. I think what makes it difficult to understand what Ryan Clark is saying, because they believe a lot of people think he's race baiting half the time. Jackson Dart doesn't get the same criticism as Shedeur. Ooh. Now, that one is a great point. Although I will admit, I don't think Jackson Dart said that he didn't want to play with Jalen Hurts. So I don't think Jackson Dart said that. And then not only that, you look at his father. I mean, his father's Deion Sanders. He's already with a strike already. Because of who Deion Sanders is. But anyway, not much to talk about there. I'll just say, I don't think there's a race issue when it comes to the MVP. I do think, just like in normal life, there are some folks who don't get the same type of criticism as other people do. I do agree with that.
Yeah,
great point on Charles Davis with Jackson Dart and Shedeur Sanders. Shoot, not only that, Baker Mayfield is the same way. When Baker Mayfield came out, he was kind of really cocky.
He got criticism. No, he got
like Shedeur Sanders.
Not like Shedeur. You're right. Not like Shedeur, but yeah, he got criticism.
Yeah.
They also went number 1.
Yeah. Freddie Kincaid said also the black to white quarterback ratio is pretty close to 50-50, at least beginning the season. 50-50.
Yeah, that's maybe I'll give you 60-40.
Yeah, maybe 60-40.
50-50. Yeah.
Maybe 60-40, But anyway, okay, good. So great. That was a quick one, but that was pretty easy. I thought it'd be interesting to talk about. All right, so moving on to this week in the NFL, Week 15. We coming down to the wires, ladies and
fantasy football finals and playoffs.
Give 2 freaking ducks about fantasy football.
I don't play, but a lot of people do. So shout out to the people who do, and we're here to support you if you do.
All right, whatever. I'm not. But anyway, moving on.
That's crazy.
A lot of great games today.
Yes, back to back.
Before we go through the picks, let's talk. You got Baltimore and Cincinnati, the fight for the AFC South.
Crazy.
Or North. I'm sorry, AFC North. LA and Kansas City. This could be Kansas City's last shot to get in the playoffs.
They're done.
That's going on here now. Buffalo, New England. A huge matchup right there. Please, Buffalo, beat New England. I'm sick and tired of hearing about New England. Then you've got Vegas and Philly. Can we get off the schneid? I'm so sick of losing and having people in my DMs. That's why I'm wearing, if you haven't noticed, our first Super Bowl ring as good luck. And we will get off the schneid. After all, it's the Raiders.
Dang, I'm surprised you ain't brought up the Colts.
I didn't get to them yet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then you got Green Bay and Denver. Man, like, talk about a huge matchup. Denver beat Green Bay. I think I'm tired of hearing about Green Bay being the best team in the NFC. We beat Green Bay. Then you got Detroit and the Rams. Oh, my God. It's another huge matchup. Detroit I think they won the last game. Rams seem to be unstoppable. In fact, I recant my last statement. The Rams are considered the best team in the NFC. Hoping for Detroit to beat the Rams on the road. And then, good Lord, you got Indianapolis and Seattle. Seattle looking like the new Legion of Boom. I'm sick and tired about here in Seattle. And more importantly, you got old man, father times, Phillip Rivers coming off of coaching little high school football kids and being a granddad back on the field. What we should have talked about, which is my fault, is a comment Cam Newton said that he felt slighted because nobody called him and they called Phillip Rivers. That's another story.
Yeah.
And then finally, you have Minnesota at Dallas. I won't even do an air horn for that. I hate Dallas. But Dallas needs to continue to win and hope that we lose in order to make the playoffs. So I'll pause there.
Yeah, I thought we'd run down who we think gonna win. So that was a good wrap up.
I just thought you was going to comment on that.
That was good. Yeah.
Cleveland and Chicago.
That's actually a good game. I was surprised didn't get an air horn because Chicago.
No, not because
Chicago's number one. Yeah, Chicago's number one in their division right now.
Yeah, but Chicago, they're not number one. It's Green Bay. What are you talking about?
Green
Bay's number one. Green Bay, check the standings, bro. Chicago may not make the playoffs. I'm looking at it right now. Chicago is number two because they lost to Green Bay last week.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. That tells you a big implication.
Because of that, Chicago may not go. So I would take it back. My apologies. I guess it is an important game because if Chicago wins and Green Bay loses, Chicago will be on top of the NFC North.
Yeah, because Green Bay has a tie, not the loss. You're right.
Yeah,
it's going to be freezing cold there. I think the temperature is like -9 or some crazy crap. Never seen Shador play in those cold temperatures. So that'd be interesting.
Right.
And I think Cleveland's defense will hold tight to Chicago because then you got Caleb Williams, who I don't think has played in those cold environment. So I will take the defense of Cleveland, but I would take the under, whatever the under is. I see this being a 13-3 game. I actually don't even see field goal kickers kicking the ball. So maybe a 7-0 or 7-3 game. But I would definitely take the under for that. So, but I will pick Cleveland because of the defense. Sorry, that was a long wrap up.
I agree. I would take Cleveland. I think Chicago's still suspect, man. I think Cleveland's got phenomenal defense. I think they're going to shock Chicago, especially after Chicago losing last week. I think they kind of mess up their minds a little bit. So I think Cleveland's going to win. Baltimore and Cincinnati, big game there.
Baltimore and Cincinnati, we did not talk about the comments that Joe Burrow said about cryptic comments about possibly quitting or doing the Andrew Luck and not coming back no more. He has taken a lot of punishment throughout his career, but he basically says, I might be tired of playing. I might not want to play no more. It's not fun anymore. He said a lot of comments, but I think those are so cryptic to put Baltimore aside. So I will pick Cincinnati at home.
Yeah, I think Baltimore has been shaky. I think their loss to Pittsburgh hurt them even more. So I will take Cincinnati at home as well.
Yeah.
LA Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. It could be the Chiefs' last stand right here.
Yeah, Chargers did not look great against Philly, but Philly kind of threw that game away last game. Now they're playing away. So I will say, man, that's a toss-up, man. I don't like KC at all. Their running back, so I will go with the Chargers and their defense.
I know I was wrong last week because I think I picked Kansas City to win last week based on who they were and stuff, and they screwed the pooch last week. But I'm not ready to give up on Kansas City, man. I think they still have a shot to make the playoffs. I think they're going to beat the Chargers at home, although they did lose last week in Kansas City. So I think it was Kansas City last week they played. But anyway, moving on. Buffalo, New England.
New England up 7-0. New England at home. Wow. Yep. So I'll go ahead and take Buffalo for that game.
Yeah, I think I'm taking Buffalo. New England is like the new darling at AFC. I don't think Buffalo's ready to get that up yet. I'm gonna give it to Buffalo.
May scored a running touchdown. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Washington, New York, don't matter.
Yeah, I have no
Charles
idea.
Davis said, man, what is going with Washington? I'm gonna take New York over Washington.
Wait, Washington, New York. Oh, Giants, not the Jets. All right, the Giants.
Yeah, Giants. I'm sorry, the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah, blah. Giants. Dart is back, so I'll take the Giants. Yeah.
Commanders trash. Raiders at the Eagles. Let's see what you say.
I'm gonna say the Eagles. I don't see a way. I do not see. It's 0-0. It's 0-0. It's 0-0 right now. Barkley is running the ball quite well. So I will take the Eagles. I don't see a way that the Raiders can win. I have no idea how they can win. Do I think they're going to lose by 14 points? No. But that's the spread right now. It's 14 points. But I do not see. Go ahead.
I was going to say, interesting anecdote. Kenny Pickett, I believe, is the starting quarterback of the Raiders.
Yep.
He used to play with us and won the Super Bowl.
Correct.
Backing up Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Interesting. Hopefully that doesn't prove to be an omen for us. Of course, I'm taking the Birds. Jets at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. Yeah, they're up 7-0.
Arizona and Houston.
Houston's up 7-0.
Yeah. Green Bay at Denver.
Very difficult game to pick. I will be watching this game. There's good late games. There's three very good late games. I will be watching this, but I actually think Green Bay is going to be on the upward trajectory starting last week and going to be moving then.
Interesting. I'm going to take Denver.
Okay. You remember Green Bay was my prediction to go to the Super Bowl this year, so I'm still riding with Green Bay. No.
I just think because if Denver wasn't at home, I'd take Green Bay. But since Denver's at home, I'm taking the Broncos. Okay, Detroit and LA.
So, this is the LA Rams. I think the Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC or the NFL, definitely the best team in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFL. But Detroit just has something about them where they could drop 40 on you at a drop of a hat. So they're very hard to pick against, but I will go with Stafford because even though he threw an interception last week, they still, I think, managed to win. Maybe that's 2 weeks ago. But I will go with the Rams.
I agree. I'm going with the Rams. I hope Detroit wins, but I think the Rams are going to win this one.
Yeah.
Carolina and New Orleans. Big game for Carolina in order to stay ahead in the NFC South.
Yeah, Carolina all the way. I'll stay with them. New Orleans just looks like they're done. New Orleans is out the playoffs, just like the Falcons are out the playoffs, even though we won last week or this week. But yeah, I'll go with Carolina. They look good. Their defense looks really good. Hello?
Real quick. New Orleans won.
Oh, I can't hear you at all. Your sound went out.
Test.
There you go.
Yeah, New Orleans beat Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll still say Carolina. Yeah, I'll go with Carolina. Tennessee or San Francisco?
Don't care. I say Tennessee.
Oh, Birds score. Yeah, go Birds. Who was it? Dallas Goedert. All right, moving on. Indianapolis and Seattle. Big game.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot pick against Seattle. I feel bad for Phillip Rivers for coming back to this game. I do think he'll score. You know what? If you're going to put money down, I predict the opening touchdown by Phillip Rivers. After that, nothing. After that, 0. Wow. But I predict the opening touchdown by Phillip Rivers. I think they will try to run the ball, but when they figure out they can't run because they're going to stack the effing box with 12 people, they're going to bring assistant coaches out, fans out. They're going to stack the box and just be like, beat me if you can. Because I don't think he could throw the ball past 50 yards.
Wow.
I mean, you got to think, we're all older. We can't throw the ball as we could when we were 30.
True.
Yeah, you're not.
What about, how old is Flacco compared to Rivers?
4 years younger. But I think the key is he hasn't played for 5 years. Being 5 years without throwing a ball or throwing the ball competitively and then trying to get back into it after a week. And the playbook is going to be so vanilla because you can't put any schemes in there that he would know. But anyway,
Yeah,
Seattle.
Okay, Seattle. I agree. Yeah, I want to see Phillip Rivers succeed, but come on, man. Plus, Seattle's at home now.
Yeah.
Okay, Minnesota at Dallas.
Dallas gonna kill him.
Late night.
Dallas gonna kill him. Horrible late night game, but Dallas is gonna kill him.
Yeah, horrible late game. I think Minnesota's gonna win.
I don't see how, because JJ looks crappy. I think Minnesota's out the playoffs. Are they out the playoffs? Yeah, no, they're not out yet. No, well, on ESPN it says they're not out yet, but they are last. They're 5-8.
Yeah.
They would have to run the table, and Green Bay, Bears, and Detroit would have to lose the whole rest of their games, and they would have to win the rest of their games.
Yeah.
They're pretty
only 5.5 point favorites.
Yeah, I mean, and they're playing at home.
Yeah, I don't say a lot.
Nah.
Anyway, okay, I'll take Minnesota. And in a Monday night matchup, Miami at Pittsburgh.
A horrible game. Horrible game.
Horrible game.
I pick Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is fighting for their number one, to be number one. It'd be interesting if Cincinnati beats Baltimore and Pittsburgh loses, because Pittsburgh would be 7-7, Baltimore would be 6-8, and Cincinnati would be 5-9. So that would be interesting as we're going to the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. Great week of football, y'all. Make sure you get your popcorn, your cookies, ginger ale, whatever you're going to eat. Enjoy the games. Hoping for Eagles win. We're up 7-0, so that's good. So we can wrap it up here, man. Yeah,
I'm trying to see if Vegas just got the ball back, but they haven't got the ball back yet. But just quick wrap up with scores, man. KC scored 7-0, Jacksonville 7-0, and Houston just scored a field goal. They got a turnover and scored a field goal, and Washington is up 3-0. Anyway, early. Enjoy football. Thank y'all for coming out. We still didn't get as many people as we need to in the drawing, so we'll just go over the next week.
Good Lord, how close did we get this time?
We're 6 short.
God dang, y'all. What's the deal, y'all?
If people don't want nothing, you can't force them. I'll spend it on myself.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all on the next one. Go Birds.